Hey, 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 happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I hope you are doing well. I hope you've got more energy than me because I feel all the way flat and tired today. So come on in, come on in. It's day 2 in the 9-day series where I'm going to be sharing 10 visibility anchors with you. Um, Today is day 2, if I didn't say that. Yesterday, we spoke about your platform, having a signature platform where you show up and you are visible and you bring all of your awesomeness. Said, I'm tired. It's a coffee day today. So let me know if you have your beverage, what your beverage is. I am pausing to just sit with you guys, just a friendly chat. This is all this is, a friendly chat over a cup of coffee. So if you are on, say hi. I would love to greet you. Let's make sure that the chat is open. And yeah, for some reason yesterday, it wasn't showing me the LinkedIn comments, which is unusual. I know that Instagram plays about. Yeah, let me just check that everything is doing what it should, and then I'll get into the content. So, yeah, guys, share this out if you know someone else that could benefit from the information. Absolutely share it out. Repost it. I should be live on YouTube. Okay, I can see that something is happening over on IG. All right, guys, let's get into it. Today is all about your signature story, your narrative, right? And if you were here yesterday, then thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you for circling back. Okay, so LinkedIn comments are showing now. Amazing. Hey, Leonora. Yeah, did I say good morning? I probably did. Good afternoon. Just finished a tea. I'm so tired. Got a caramel coffee. I feel so like, yeah, just flat and ugh. So hopefully this coffee will perk me up. And I'm sure this conversation will once I get going. Hey, Sharon, you're watching on YouTube. Amazing. Thank you so much for letting me know that the tech is working and where I'm streaming onto. Hey, Merlene, how are you? Lovely. Is there a replay of day 1? Yes. So you'll find the replay on YouTube and on LinkedIn. And that was all about choosing your signature platform. Where are you going to show up? Where are you going to hang out? So go check that out so I don't go back through the content again. And Leonora's like, but I heard this already, right? So just for a bit of context, I'm going to be going live for, well, today would be 8 days. So yesterday was 9 days. So I'm going to be going live for the rest of this week. Working week, and then from next week I'll do giving you one visibility anchor. And a visibility anchor is something that I believe you could leverage in your online activities to ensure that you are showing up in the right places in the right way. I use the analogy of like your anchor being your belt yesterday, right? So the same way that your belt holds your trousers or your skirt or your shorts up, right? This is your visibility anchor, is what's going to ground you. It's going to keep you in place so you're not kind of all over the place and you're not feeling shaky, right? So let me know if you were here, if you found what I shared yesterday. Um, Today, as I've said, is all about your signature story. So visibility is a lot more than just like posting, a lot more than just commenting. It's actually you having a plan, having a system, and being consistent with it, but not to the point that you burn yourself out, right? Trying to be everywhere on at all times. But all of the anchors that I'm going to be sharing, they build on the last one, right? So you could pick one and just double down on that and then pick the next one, right? And then you would start to build out what I would call a visibility plan, right? That you can carry into 2026, like without having to start from scratch. So today we're talking about your signature story, but before we get into it, right? Let me say this from a place of love. Hear me as I say this. I'm saying this from a place of love. Most women in business downplay their story, like far more than they actually realize. Like what we tend to assume is, oh, that thing is not that deep. Like no one wants to hear all of that. Or like, I haven't done anything special. Why would anyone want to hear what I've got to say? But is it okay if I let you know that your story is the emotional anchor that people actually remember? Right? So it's that part of you that lands deeper than your bio ever could. Yes, take time to optimize your bios, take time to optimize your headline, your title, all those things, but your story is than all of that, right? It's deeper than that clever post that you wrote on Monday, right? It's cleverer or deeper than that clever comment that you left. So let me just talk to you like a friend next door, your bestie next door, who just happens to know some things about the online space and visibility. Would that be okay? Would that be okay? I'm gonna come back and check. Let me know if that would be okay. I'm just talking to you with a cup of coffee. Like, I hope that you are just having a friendly chat, right? Because as I said, often women especially downplay all of the things, all of the achievements, even the hard things, right? We downplay. And especially for women over the age of 40. And I'll get into why that is, right? So when you hide your story, when you keep quiet, when you don't share it, what I think happens is that your visibility feels flat. It feels cold. It feels informational. You almost turn into like Wikipedia, right? Let me know if you know what I'm saying, where you can't quite connect with someone. They feel robotic and potentially they're using AI anyway. So you've got this robot writing for them. They're not sharing any lived experience. They're not sharing any bit of their backstory. It starts to feel informational, like anyone could have written it, right? There's no context to the person. We don't know what your values are. We don't know where you've come from, where you've been, where you're going, right? But when you share even a small piece, right, of where you've come from, why you do what you do, what has shaped the way that you do what you do, why is it that you have chosen to focus on women over the age of 40? Like, what pushed you into the line of doing, right? Your visibility stops being just content at that point and becomes connection. There's like points of connection that people can make with you. I said I would get more energy as I went on. I'm feeling a little bit more energetic, right? Now I know that sharing your story can fall, especially for Black women, Black and brown women, especially for women over the age of 40, have had to be strong for so long, right? Let me know if what I'm saying is resonating, right? We're often the listener, the person who supports, the helper, the fixer, the nurturer, not the one who opens up, not the one who is transparent and authentic. But if it's okay, I would love to just drop a little mic drop here, do like a little barrack and right? I would love to do that. Your story is not weakness. It is actually evidence, right? It's evidence that you have lived, that you are a real person, right? You're not an AI clone, right? It's evidence that you've actually got real people that you've served, that you've got transformation for, right? It's evidence that you didn't just wake up today and just decide, oh, I'm going to be a coach, I'm going to be a consultant, right? You didn't just create this out of nothing and for no reason, right? There was a reason, there was a turning point. Maybe there was a pull for you to start your business. Maybe the landscape shifted for you and that pushed you into starting your business, right? So when your story is missing, people can hear you, they can read your content, they can see your videos, But what they don't do is they don't feel you. There's no resonance, there's no connection. And what usually ends up happening is that a lack of trust ends up being prevalent, right? There's just something missing, like our this sense, intuition, whatever you want to call it. There's just something that's a bit off, right? So I want to just in full transparency, give a moment of truth for me, right? So when I first started showing up online, I shared what I thought was safe, right? The safe version of Shalina, the bits that were polished, the bits, the highlight reels, the bits that was like CV appropriate, the accolades, all those kind of things. But the moment that I started to share my actual journey, right? Started to share that I had my daughter at 20, that I worked in corporate for 17 years, and pretty much I would say for 15 of those wanted to get out. I always knew while I was at my desk, like, I shouldn't be here. I don't want to do this. But the bills, but life, but family expectancy, all of those things, right? That's my story, right? I shared about like getting let go from my contract, going in one day and just being told, we don't need you anymore, right? And then that pushing me into starting something of my own. Right, that's when people started saying, Shalina, I feel like I know you. Like our stories are so similar. Like I feel like I can trust you. I see myself in you. Right. And that's just from being transparent. That's just from sharing elements that I'm comfortable sharing. I'm not saying you have to put your whole business out there online. You set boundaries for yourself in terms of what you're comfortable, like even with a particular scenario, what elements of that scenario are you comfortable to share? And when you know that, go ahead and share it, right? It doesn't need to be, but it has to be true, right? We're not catfishing, we're not lying. It has to be true and it needs to be yours, right? Don't take someone else's story because again, that wouldn't be true, right? But it needs to connect and be authentic and just come from a place of this is who I am. This is my story. This is my background. This is what I have been doing. So inside of the LinkedIn Strategy Lab, I'm going to be teaching men and women because men are invited into the LinkedIn Strategy Lab. But I'm going to be teaching them how to like turn elements of their life into those connection points on LinkedIn, right? So I'll be helping them with like clarity around parts of their story. It needs to feel true. It needs to feel authentic. It doesn't need to be War and Peace, the full 66 books of the Bible. No, we don't need to do all of that, right? But what it does need to do is to start to build the trust, the connection points, the reasons why you are doing what you're doing, and what are the stories, what are the results that you've been able to get. Right? So there's no pressure to overshare. No one's asking you to like go dig into traumatic events and now trauma dump on LinkedIn. That's not what we're doing. No need to do any of that. So before I let you go, what I want you to do is to just sit with one question today. I would love for you to ask yourself, what moment in your life, in your career, has shaped the person, the woman, the man that you are in business today? What is that event? What was the trigger? What was the catalyst? Right? Start there. And then that then becomes the beginning of your signature story. All right, friend. I'm going to wrap this up because I have to get back. But let me know if any of this resonated. I'm going to check the comments. And I'm looking forward to seeing you for day 3 because day 3 is all around your content series and the anchor that gives to you. Why having structure in your message changes everything. And how people begin to recognize you from your content. right? So let me come and see. I'm going to check IG first of all, because I have to look at that on my phone to see if anybody has left a comment. No comments on IG. So let me come back over here and see if you guys have left any comments. No comments. All right, guys, let me know, right? Leave a comment after the live. Let me know what stood out, if you are going to take action. All right, I'm seeing them coming through. So Leonora says, definitely and makes sense. Sit with that today, Leonora, and ask yourself, like, why am I doing what I'm doing? What's the reason? What's the trigger? What am I comfortable to share? And start to, like, maybe you haven't introduced yourself on LinkedIn for a while. A reintroduction post, this would be perfect for that, right? Sharing your signature story and saying, hey, I've got some new connections, some new followers. I would love to share a bit of background as to why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I think for you, if I remember rightly, you recently made a pivot. So perfect time. Sharon said, you dropped some gems which resonated with me. Thank you. You are very welcome. Very welcome. If you need any support with that, Sharon, you're in the build room. So reach out if you need support with that. Merlene says, totally resonated with what you're saying. Amazing. Yeah, grab the gems and like take some time, 10-15 minutes over a cup of coffee. I haven't got very far, I've been chatting. I haven't got very far with my coffee, but take some time out to think about your story. What is your story? And your story is unique to you, right? As I've said, don't take somebody else's story, don't make it up. Take the elements that you're comfortable to share and deliver that in a way that, yeah, sometimes people get stuck with only sharing the story. There's like a pivot point, right? So even in that post, in that content, finding a way to link it. Like, obviously you're talking about why you're doing what you're doing, but maybe having like a call to action. Maybe your call to action is like, if this resonated with you, DM me, I would love to have a conversation. Because depending on the line of work that you do, you will have what I call like silent lurkers who will just watch your content, read your content, but not actually comment, right? So you need to invite them in to maybe take the conversation from the timeline, from the feed, and to DM you to discuss privately one-to-one. So kind of opening that up and inviting people to do that allows you to have more conversations. Conversations lead to cash, potentially lead to opportunities, right? So yeah, go ahead, share your story with confidence. All right, over on IG, I can see FP Comms. Hey, Nicola. Love how you keep showing up. Oh, bless you. Thank you so much. I don't know. Yeah, actually, I do know. So I shared this before. IG have changed their policy with going live. So I'm having to do like a makeshift plaster and string kind of thing to do the lives on IG. So your comments don't come through with everybody else's. I would love to put your comment up. But yeah. Nick Karen says, I have food for thought. Amazing, ladies. Amazing. All right. So this has been fantastic. If you know any men, right, that need support with LinkedIn, with visibility, please do share this live out with them. Let them know about the LinkedIn Strategy Lab. And the lab is on a Black Friday offer at the moment, right? So there's a free tier, there's a premium tier, and there's VIP, right? So you could get in for free, the community, and get weekly strategies, right, on the free 99. So you don't have to pay anything. Then there's the premium tier, and what that gives you is access to on-demand trainings, live masterclasses, resources, abilities to ask deeper questions and get my feedback, get like Loom video responses on your content, on your profile. And then the VIP level gets all of the previous tiers, but they also get one-to-one support. So they can book time in my diary for fortnightly one-to-one. So if they're working on a particular campaign, we'll work together to build out that campaign, to help them with preparing for sales calls that they've got from LinkedIn, right? And then debriefing after the fact to see maybe what they could have done differently. So it all comes down to your desire for proximity and resources, right? If you want to go beyond resources, then the VIP is where we work one-to-one. If you want access to kind of more resources and not so much the hand-holding, then the premium tier. And if you just want to be a part of the community and to just get some weekly gems, then the free tier is where you can hang out. All right, guys, let me go. I keep saying these are going to be like 10, 15 minutes, and then half an hour, I am still here chattering away. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We're talking about content as your visibility and